Well, hey there, hi there, and hello, my fellow entrepreneurs from around the world. I hope this video finds you safe and well. Today I'm going to be talking about online quizzes for your opt-in, okay? So this is a situation where people answer some questions in a quiz type format, and then when it gets to the end, just before they get the results, they type in their email address and hit submit in order to have the results emailed through to them, and the results might also be there on the next page. And opt-ins can be just extremely good for getting a lot of people to sign up, for people getting to know you and building that relationship that then leads to them working with you down the track, either in an online capacity or with clients, and clients in an online capacity with the way things are going in the world, right? So this is why I'm going to be talking to you about exactly sort of what this is and how this works, and then how to actually create it. Like, what are the building block steps in order to create your quiz? Just so you're aware, I'm not going to be talking about software. I'm going to be doing that in a follow-up video, because that's going to be something different, and I need to try some options before I have something to recommend. But this is how to break it down so that when you get to your particular piece of software, it's a copy and paste type affair and it's easier to set up, okay? Because you've already got it all mapped out and you know what everything's going to say. This is what that video is going to help you do. The reason I'm creating this is because I've actually been working with a couple of consulting clients on this very thing recently, and I thought this video might help because I've had to go through these explanations and that kind of thing. I'm also going to be sharing results I've seen other people get, as well as my own results that I've received, and giving some explanations about the quizzes that I've created and helped other people create it as well. Let's just dive in. What is a quiz? Okay, just so that we're on the same page. For those of you who remember what a magazine is, you know, those things, right? Paper, that kind of stuff. You know, you'd get a quiz, especially in women's magazines, right? And you'd answer the questions, and then you'd go and each question would have a number attached to it. You'd add up the numbers and that would give you your results. Well, this is the same type of deal, but in an online capacity. Somebody clicks a link, they go to a page, they start answering questions, and then based on their answers, then they get taken through to the result. So quizzes work really well online, okay? Because people are we're just, as humans, we're just so curious, okay? And quizzes, people can't go past them, all right? A certain amount of us, we can't go past them, right? Even if we know that they're just a little bit of fun, and like, which Harry Potter character are you, right? We kind of can't help but just stop and just go, oh, this will only take 5 minutes, you know? And then for some of us, we can even see, based on what options we have, if we pick the right ones, we're probably going to get the result we want to see anyway, right? But then I've also seen this done in ways in marketing circles, kind of like what is your marketing branding personality for your business based on who you are. That was really interesting and eye-opening. And then I wanted to know more about that kind of stuff, okay? Other ones, obviously, personality tests. There are people in the world who live and die by what their personality is because a test told them to. And people feel very comfortable being able to say, this is who I am, and attach themselves to a particular category, right? So this can be also great for your followers, because then they have a way to converse with each other and compare results and things like that, and can even be a talking point in your industry as people then start to discuss the issues that you want to cover, depending on how you approach this, okay? If you're here, you probably already have some sort of idea in mind. But if you don't, you are welcome to absolutely start asking for help in the comments, or if you want to nut out your idea, definitely get in touch, because this is what I help people do, to help them get better opt-ins, right? So let's break down quizzes. Oh, actually, before I break down the how-to, I just want to tell you a bit more about results that I've received and I've seen other people receive. I created a quiz for a client of mine. They're a not-for-profit client, and we were attracting people from the cities to move to a more country area, okay? And part of the quiz that we were creating was, and actually I'll get into how that worked when we break down how to create a quiz. But what I did find out with this quiz is that we were easily having 10 to 20 people sign up a day because we only had, a few dollars a day in ad spend, but it just really, really worked. It was really quite popular. Unfortunately, we had to turn it off because we were dealing with things like bushfires, drought, and now coronavirus, so it's not still operating, unfortunately. But that was my first foray, and things have worked well. Then I've seen other people who have had something like 300 signups in a day just from creating a quiz and putting it out there. That was some amazing results. I don't know what her network and how much advertising she put into that, but just quizzes can be very popular. I do want to tell you though, as just a note of concern, that if you're at the point where you're thinking, do I create a quiz? Do I do something else? Just remember, you want to create a relationship with someone. You want to help them with something. Those are the first things you should be thinking of, and then coming around to format later. If you're thinking format first, you may not connect with your ideal clients. Without that connection, it won't lead to them wanting to work with you later on, okay? So just keep that in mind. Now, let's break down the big steps of how to create the high-level steps, in fact. Not big because they're not that big, it's not that hard. It's just the high-level steps of how to create your quiz, right? So what we want to start is we start with the end in mind. That means we start with the results first, okay? I would encourage you to just sit down and start with at least 4, okay? Minimum 4 results, 4 outcomes. But if you want, you can go probably up to 7 or 8. I know there are other quizzes out there like 26 personalities. There's 26 results in that thing. Same with Myers-Briggs. There can be a lot of results. But I encourage you, keep things simple. You can come and add to it later, right? Let's just keep things simple. You can create other quizzes for other approaches to what you do, okay, later. Otherwise, if you make it too complicated and it's your first time doing this stuff, you can end up getting stuck and it will never get done. And then you won't actually move your business forward and get the results that you're looking for, okay? So that's why I say start out simple. Then from the outcomes that you have, then you go in and you look at some questions to ask, all right? I found when I created my quiz that it was a thing of the questions were around the different pain points, okay? So the pain points for people living in the city is they don't get as much time with their family as we do in the country. They spend a lot more time commuting, they get stuck in traffic, things like that. So then it was a question of, okay, so what thoughts happen to you when you get stuck in those moments? And then we give them a few options, and everything on a scale from this is horrible, get me out of here now, through to I love the city, I never want to leave, they're going to have to bury me here, okay? So, and I say that tongue in cheek, right? I'm joking around, but you get what I mean. Like I love it here and I'm never leaving. So from those, and then you've got your ones in the middle who are, oh, I'm not really sure yet, that kind of thing. From those answers, I knew that anybody who ended up with an answer of, I just want to stay in the city, they're not my people. So then, we tag them in a certain way in the email list, and then we don't need to keep building an email relationship with them, right? But they might know other people to recommend me to, okay? But then everybody else, they end up with a certain set of information sent to them, and then we start building a relationship from there, okay? Hey, what do you want to know about living in the country? Hey, I've got some information on how much it costs to live here, how much it costs to move, these sorts of things, okay? So then we're building that relationship, and that's the way you need to think about it when you're creating your quiz, okay? When you're creating your questions, make sure you have an extra 1 or 2, like more than the amount of results that you have, so that you can make sure that there's no ties and, somebody doesn't end up with equal results in both, so that there's always a tiebreaker question, okay? So that will mean that one answer will always come out on top, okay? I'm not quite sure if I covered this properly, but when you're creating the questions, the answers you have, each answer leads to one result, okay? Clearly maps to one result, right? That makes it a lot easier for everyone involved, and then it's easier to add things up at the end, okay? I just hope that that was clear. So I think I talked a little bit about this, but I'm just going to cover this again just to make sure. But when it comes to the results, you want to make sure you create results that people want to identify with and that they want to share. You don't want to make them feel bad about where they're at now, okay? So one of my clients, I was helping her with a quiz on procrastination. That particular quiz, it can be really easy to make people feel bad about how they procrastinate. So we talked about some ideas about how to make it as a fun thing, keep it lighthearted, and then, hey, did you know there's this option to help you procrastinate less, which is her mastermind community, which I'm a part of as well. Okay, the same for my other client who I'm helping, and she is doing sort of stuff in the spirituality realm, and there's a whole scale from -10 to +10 about where your kind of vibration is, and then how you're feeling, and then helping people move into the +10 situation. And her results had we had Australian animals that she's creating for results. So people can say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm the Tasmanian devil, right? So you can imagine Tassie Devil does all the moving in circles, if you remember Looney Tunes, right? Do you see what I mean? And it's not about making them feel bad. It's about going, oh, okay, yep, cool. I can see how this isn't helping me. Cool, give me some information to help me change things, right? And then it can become a talking point in your industry, which can be really good as well. So it's a way to communicate what you are thinking and how you deal with people. And it's a way for your people who work with you to talk to each other and help each other as well, and communicate, hey, this is who I am at the moment, this is not who I want to be, etc. Okay? And the other thing I wanted to say is make sure you remember that this is a way to create a relationship, build a relationship with someone. So don't forget to have a picture of yourself with the quiz. Tell people why you created the quiz, why you're passionate about this stuff. Okay, people want to connect with you as a person, and the more they connect with you, then the more likely it is that they're going to buy from you down the track or recommend you to somebody else who's a better fit. Okay, so this is why this is really important. This is the start of building a relationship, right? So let me just recap, okay? Quizzes get epic results. They do take a bit more time to create, but it's well worth it, okay? Start with the end in mind, all right? Create your results first. Start with a minimum of 4. Don't go crazy. Don't go more than 7 or 8, right? Then create your questions. The questions are probably around pain points, but there could be other ways to attack that. That's just been my experience so far. But the questions can be around pain points, and then like what people would do or what they would think in certain situations. So then each answer directly maps to a particular response, okay? And then have 2 extra questions at least to help make sure that there's no ties and you have enough to have a tiebreaker. And make sure that you let people know why you created the quiz, what's in it for them, okay? Why you're so passionate about this. This is a chance to build a relationship while solving a problem in a fun and unique way. So make sure that comes across in your quiz. I hope that this has been helpful. If you have questions or you want to meet up with me to talk about this stuff in more depth and for me to help you get your quiz off the ground, then by all means, definitely get in touch or type in the comments below. That's it from me. Until next time, bye for now.